Morning, Randy. What are you doing?
Well,
Practicing shuffling.
I guess you are. Susan's practicing for her new career. She wants to be a blackjack dealer.
Well, I want this table, actually, this blackjack table. It's coming up in our Spring Classic.
Okay.
So bid against me.
Speaking of Spring Classic, we just finished the auction this last weekend, which was the Civil War auction.
Yes, we did.
It did well. Mm-hmm. We had some really great moments. I'm just looking at some of the sales prices here. Uniform sells for $11,000. A hat sells for $7,000. The fun of Civil War stuff is everything's in the thousands. But I would have to say, if there was a surprise, there's always a fun surprise at an auction.
Yep.
And the Sprague collection.
The highlight of the auction was the Sprague lot.
Yeah,
Sprague lot. And I was on the phone with the winning bidder. It was so exciting. Tell them how it went.
How neat is that?
Well, 24 to go, bid at 24 and 25. 25 now bid at 25,000. 25 to go, bid at 25. 25 to go, bid at 25. 24 here, 25 where, 25 and 26. 26,000. 26 to go, bid at 26, 26,000, 26,000, bid at 26, 26,000, bid at, I have 25,000 bid, now 26,000, 26,000, you're at 25, you're out 26, you're in at 26, now 27. 27,000, bid at 27,000, all in, all done. Sold at $26,000.
One thing I always like to remind you all, as you're bidding at auction, is we always run a live auction, so you can come here live, and that's always fun being part of the action, so to speak. But there's so many ways to bid. We sell an awful lot online, all over the world, not just the United States, but you can do absentee bids with us, or in this case, phone bids.
Yeah.
So we had several phone bidders actually for this particular lot, and Susan had the winning bidder.
The winning phone bidder, yep. And he was very excited. He almost quit, and I said, just one more, because we know you want it.
Yeah.
And there's no online bidding fees, which was very nice. He's like, yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, one
with
more.
With a phone bid,
yep.
You save some money.
Then we sold it to him. That was
now
awesome.
Here's what's nice and fun. It's always fun to get good money for something, but when the owners of the sold lot contact us.
Oh yeah, he sent me an email. The consigner sent me an email on Monday. The auction was on Saturday. So on Monday he says, "Good morning, Donley team. I saw the selling price of the Sprague lot. It almost fell off my chair. You guys are amazing, and I will be sure to recommend you to all my friends and anyone else who wants an A++ experience." Dr. Sprague.
That is so nice.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Doctor.
you, Doctor.
We really appreciate comments, and I want to hear them both ways. If you've ever got something that for any reason you would be unhappy with something that we've done, we want to know that, because we never want to have any issues in any way, shape, or form. I forgot to turn off my phone.
What other highlights from the auction?
What other highlights from the auction? I mean, everything was a highlight. The auction did well. It did well, which leads us right into our next auction.
Our next auction coming up. We are ready.
May Part 2, I guess.
Yes.
The end of May 29th, 30th, and 31st, 3-day auction. It's one of our highlights of the year in that we've got anything and everything. We've got antique cars, we've got motorcycles, we've got slot machines, jukeboxes, we've got signs, anything that you would want for a man cave or she shed. Gotta have that.
Or anything you want to start collecting. This is great items here for a first-time collector or anybody just interested to get into the industry. I mean, look at those carousel horses, those radios.
Yeah.
I mean, those light fixtures. There's just.
But Susan, you just made an interesting remark in that you said anybody who wants to.
Interesting remark. One.
Anybody who wants to start collecting, it's really funny because normally Normally I would be saying, oh no, this is an auction for advanced collectors. Well, the fact is, the way the antique market has changed now, the beauty is antiques are affordable. I mean,
now's the time.
It is,
isn't it?
because slot machines that used to go for, $2,000-3,000 now can be bought under $1,000. This is just because all these old collectors got hold at the same time. All the merchandise is coming on the market, so it's supply and demand. Right now, there's huge supplies of antiques, great antiques, that was never available. Everything kind of got collected up. It was all gone off the market. So if you wanted to start collecting slot machines, you couldn't. They were all in collections.
Right.
If you wanted to start collecting stuff like pedal cars and everything, it was all collected up. And now it's just a prime time. So when you mention to start collecting, this is a perfect time for anybody to jump into the antiques world.
Hi, Mike from Donley Auctions here again. I just wanted to talk about a little piece that came in today. We have this beautiful chronograph watch inscribed U.S. Navy, 1390 on the back. This belonged to Commander John Augustus Rogers, a naval aviator. What he's most famous for is in 1925, he attempted a flight from the first flight from California to Hawaii. They flew a pontoon boat, he and his crew. They didn't make it. They ran out of gas, actually, a few hundred miles short of Hawaii. And after being afloat for a day with no rescue in sight, they did not have a radio, no radio communication. After being afloat for a day, they ended up fashioning sails out of the wings of the airplane and sailed for 7 days to Hawaii, where they were rescued just outside the surf line in Hawaii. So it's a pretty important watch. This is his personal chronograph that was with him on that. And it does say on there, watch used by Commander John Rogers on West Coast flight to Hawaii. So that's a nice little piece that'll be coming up on our May auction. And if you want to learn more about Commander John Rogers, the Wikipedia, because there's quite a history. He did have an untimely death. I believe less than a year later, he crashed into the Delaware River and was killed. So a really great piece of history here. You can only find it at DonleyAuctions.com. Thanks for listening.
On Monday, our staff took a break to celebrate Cinco de Mayo. Just this week alone, a Cushman scooter came in, a 1958 Cushman, a 1950 Jeepster. Oh, cool as can be. We got a nice 1950 Jeepster that'll be in the auction at the end of May. What is that, the 29th through the 31st, right? Yeah. So this will be day 2. This will be a Friday night item.
Okay, I want to know why there's little things to stand on right here. What are you going to just like hold on, stand on the side and ride?
Get in.
There's no door.
Yeah, I mean there is, but you get in from the back and it doesn't go forward.
Oh my gosh.
It's like that's my guess. You gotta ask.
Yeah, I bet.
More gas pumps, more Petroliana. And 2 plastic advertising pieces, a Sinclair and a pure Firebird.
Oh wow.
That's important.
My dyno is better than your Firebird.
We used to have these, my dad had a gas station, Pure Oil, became Pure Firebird, and then we had these hanging in our office.
I just lost. You are no fun.
It just
How about
keeps
the
rolling
King
in.
Midget, the car and the boat?
Oh, isn't that cool?
It's very cute.
Hi, I'm Mike Donley for Donley Auctions. I'm here with Ken Robbins today. He just brought in a beautiful, beautiful piece here. And you want to tell us about it? What do we got here?
It's a 1959 King Midget Deluxe that I custom redid the body and converted to a V16 Briggs & Stratton V engine.
I
You
love the
smelling that?
oxymoron.
Stay
King Midget.
What's it powered by?
16 horse Briggs V twin. This is the real popular conversion for these. So anyone that owns a King Midget that really wants to drive it, they do this conversion.
What year did they make them?
This one's a 59. It has a custom boat that's all hand painted. All the woodwork on the boat's hand painted. The boat is not water worthy.
It's
The
not
car
water-worthy.
is capable of being on the road. It comes with a title. The engine back here, you can see the conversion we did.
Good.
Runs smooth, can take it anywhere.
Is this hydrostatic transmission?
Yeah, it's a torque converter. All automatic. It has 2 speeds, drive and reverse. Very simple to drive, very comfortable. Interior was all made in custom red,
Got that King Midget.
metallic,
That
like they used to do in the 50s. Everything works, full updated gauges. Probably one of the nicest King Midgets in the country.
Yeah, I don't doubt that at all. That's a beauty. And the boat, did you start with a
I
smaller
started with a boat that came out of a carnival ride, and then we went ahead and custom did it to look like an old Chris Craft inboard.
Wow, you did that wood graining on there too?
Yes, all the wood
Beautiful.
graining's
Wow.
hand done.
Look at that.
And then
Look
you
at
can
that
see the
mahogany
prop
wood
because it's
grain.
set up like an inboard.
I mean, that's an art form in itself, that wood graining. That's unbelievable.
Yes.
Wow. Well, you got the skis over here. You see the skis?
I made a miniature set of skis to go with it, just as part of the look. The car and the boat were completely a nut and bolt restoration. Everything was 100% taken apart, redone, and re-put together. I don't want you and you know who necking in it.
Hear what he said?
No.
He said, I don't want you and you know
Come here,
who
come here.
necking in it.
And I didn't mean Mike.
Oh!
Never seen anything like this. This is absolutely gorgeous. I like, who named the boat?
I did. Because everyone says I'm half awake whenever I build anything.
Boy, can you imagine being a boat dealer and having this for parades? You know, for your boat dealership? Oh, that is so cool. And this will be coming up in our Spring Classic in just a few weeks, actually. Cool.
It's very cute.
Totally
yeah. Did you
restored
see the
King
name on
Midget.
the back of the boat?
No.
I'm sure Karin has it on here. Half awake.
Oh, that's cool.
Isn't
Wake.
that a great-
Yeah.
awake.
Half awake.
Half
yeah,
awake.
As in, it's a small boat. So
Right.
It's,
Exactly right.
but-
but it's not water worthy.
no, but
it is
it's
beautiful.
it's a great prop. If
Yes.
you own a marina, you need this in your lobby. It's too cool. Wait till
Yeah.
you see it. Go online. Go online to Donley Auctions right now and see what we're talking about. But keep checking back because every day, Saturday, Mike and I have to go get more signs, more gas pumps, more pinball machines. It just keeps flooding in. Okay, Neil,
Hey guys,
what all have you got today? And where were you?
I was down just southwest of Peoria. Sorry, could get that one out. We got in a bunch of guns.
Take a look
tons of
inside
ammo.
this truck.
We got in knife displays. All these are all baseball cards, baseball, football, and basketball cards.
So you were out and picked up how many guns?
Not quite as many as I thought, 20, but they're good guns. We've got
Okay.
Scar Heavies.
So 20 guns, a load of
right.
ammo, display cases for knife collecting, and sports cards. What did you take Ryan with you?
Took Ryan with. He analyzed the cards real quick while we were loading everything else, and went from there.
The room is filling up.
It is
When is this next auction?
June 21st.
Okay, and let's see what you got today.
Yeah.
And incidentally, I am back on coffee. If you noticed in the last podcast, my signature coffee cup was gone. I gave it up for Lent. So now that we've gotten
He's
past
back to
Easter,
sinning.
back to the vice, my one and only vice, coffee.
This is probably the highlight of it. Scar Heavy 308. This was a contender for the last battle rifle of the military. It didn't make it, even though I thought it should have. Fantastic gun. Comes with an Neotech and like 8 or 9 mags. It's a nice gun. For you hunters, the very famous Browning Bar 30-06. Great deer rifle up in Wisconsin. Very popular.
Excellent. About
Yeah.
how many guns do we have in June right now?
We've got over 500 and busy season still coming.
Okay, and ammo?
Oh, we got a lot of ammo.
A lot of ammo.
A lot of ammo.
Okay, all for June.
All for June.
Let me ask you this. What would you consider an antique? What years?
You know, I use the word antique synonymously with
Right.
collections, collectible items. I mean, we always used to say antiques were 100 years old, but the fact is, again, I just use that word antique, but I don't think antique necessarily is the right word. But on the other hand, I don't like to say collectibles,
Right.
because then everybody thinks of, you know, decorator mugs or plates that you hang on the wall that
Hummels and
are
like that.
you know, new manufacture.
Babies.
Yeah.
Well,
so-
because the other word you should probably start using is vintage. There's a lot of vintage stuff in here, which is not as old as an antique, but just as cool as an antique.
You know, it's funny because, you know, I'm an old dinosaur in this world. You know, at my age, at my age, I'm always, you know, thinking about, you know, when I was a young collector. And the word vintage to me used to be like a resale shop or vintage clothing, you know,
Okay,
old,
yeah.
not used clothing, but older, you know. So when I was growing up in the 60s and 70s, to me, a vintage would have been clothing from the 1940s or something.
It's much
So-
more than that now.
Well, it is. So vintage has become a word, like you say, that
So we
that
have
we could
antiques
use more
and
of.
vintage items. They cross generations.
Right.
Yeah, it's a lot of great stuff. You got to check out the catalog. It is online.
Oh, yeah.
Go to DonleyAuctions.com. Click on that big red button there. It'll take you to our online catalog, and you can see all the photos and descriptions. And you can even start bidding now if you want.
Sure. If you are a person with items out there that you would like to consign to Donley Auctions, we are still taking, because not just for this auction, obviously every week, every month, we've got more going on. So, but if we don't hear from you, we can't sell your merchandise. And one of our slogans is, we make it fit in your wallet. So
That's right.
we always like to do that.
Don't forget that. I'm busy. I'm heading out of town. I'm making some personal deliveries from the Civil War auction on my
cool.
way to see my daughter. So I'm looking forward to meeting some buyers of some of our military items. So I'm heading out, but that's all from me.
So for now,
I'm Susan.
and I'm Randy Donley, and we'll see you
at
the auction.